G'day, g'day, g'day. Welcome back to the Empire of Dorks here at Authentic Collectables. It's September, another container's coming down, so you know what that means. More unboxings. Let's get into it. Right, if you've never seen one of these before, whenever we get a container coming down, the factory like to send us a bunch of production samples before the container gets here. They kind of air freight them down so that we've got a bit of an idea on what's coming in the container. We can also use it for licensing, advertising, which is what this pretty much is. And it's basically our first chance to get a look at the cars that are actually coming down to the container, and we like to take you along for the ride. So this time we've basically got what can only be described as a rainbow of cars. We've pretty much got every colour in the rainbow here. Let's go and jump in and have a look at what we've got. Right, well, that didn't take as long as I was expecting. Let's jump in and have a bit of a look at these things, shall we? Let's start over there. So here we have a trio of 2024 cars from Brad Jones Racing. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably aware that Brad Jones Racing have been doing deals with movies. So we've got SpongeBob SquarePants, they've also done Venom and Karate Kid, so that's probably a bit of an ongoing thing. When this car came out at the AGP in 2024, everybody just went, whoa, that is awesome. And so we got so much response for that we had to do it. And we've also done this in 64s as well, if you're aware. The car looks absolutely ridiculously good. The yellow pops so hard. It's definitely something you've got to have in your collection. If you haven't ordered one, you're probably going to miss out. They're going to go nuts, I reckon. Definitely a cool car. Definitely one of the best ones I think Mac has driven. Definitely going to go into my collection. Not that I have much room anymore because I keep collecting all of these things. That's just how it goes. Meanwhile, we've also got the Middy's entry that Bryce Ford was driving at the Bathurst 500. This car, once again, as you know, the Middy's cars are pretty loud. This pink is definitely a bit of an eye burner. I think it looks pretty cool. They generally do. It's definitely one that if you're interested in that sort of thing, to have something that sticks out on the mantelpiece, that's the one. And finally, we've actually got Andre Heimgartner's car, which was the race 16 winner, I think, off the top of my head, at Taupo 400. Definitely a cool car, and if you're a bit of a fan of Jaime, definitely another one to get. All told, 3 BJR cars, more to come. Let's go and have a look at some other stuff. So here we have the 2024 entries from Walkinshaw Andretti United before they went to the black colours. We've based these on the Bosch Power Tools Perth Super Sprint, basically because Chaz won race 9 at that event. We basically went, let's do these as a pigeon pair, basically because it makes sense. If you're a bit of a fan of WAU, these cars are definitely part of a good collection to have. Also, if you've got the black cars, you can kind of do that compare and contrast of the black versus white. I think white race cars just generally look cool. I have a bit of a preference for that, but the black cars also do look pretty cool. Definitely worth having if you're a bit of a fan. Let's go and have a look at some Tickford stuff now. So this time we have an oldie and a newie, so to speak. We've got a 2023 car and a 2024 car. This is obviously one of the Indigenous round cars that was driven by Declan Fraser in 2023. Definitely a cool livery. I actually quite like this one because it's quite simple but very effective. The yellow on the matte black just looks awesome. And obviously we've got the Castrol car, which was based obviously on the Castrol racing cars of the 90s. So Super is one of them, and obviously the Celica GT4s that were in rally. Back then I was a bit of a rally nut, so this has a special place in my heart. Obviously driven by Tommy Randall. It's definitely a cool car. Probably one of my favourites of all the retro stuff that came out in 24. I'm hoping to see we get some cool stuff in 2025. this is going to go quick, I reckon. If you're interested in these, if you haven't placed an order, you're probably going to miss out. They are going to go like hotcakes. And let's go and have a look at a road car, shall we? Okay, so this is a Leyland P76 in Boulder's Brass, which is actually the colour of the yellow. Very interesting yellow colour in my opinion, but hey, that was the 70s. We kind of did that sort of weird stuff. This is a continuation of our P76s. We've already done all of the Targa Florios. This is a Super, so same, but different, but still same. Effectively, when they came out, you could either get them in a 6 or a V8. Interiors mostly similar to the Targa Florio. A lot of the Targas came out with the 4.7 steering wheel, whereas these predominantly had the boomerang steering wheel, and obviously it's got the hubcaps, which are different to the Targa Florio mags. Apart from that, if you're a bit of a fan of the P76, we actually have the donor car, or the owner of the donor car has one of these in this colour, and so bit shout out to Adam for helping us out with this stuff. So we checked the colour against his, so it is pretty right. Yeah, if you're interested in one of these, obviously we'll be doing more P76s as we go, but yeah, another one to add to your collection. So that's what's coming down in the next container. Obviously, if you haven't already pre-ordered or registered your interest, you better get onto that pretty quick. Basically, all of these are sorted. They're all reasonably low numbers, so yeah, get onto this sort of stuff. As stuff gets announced, if you're interested in doing that sort of thing, either register with your local stockist or register your interest with us. Once we've basically had something announced for about a month, that sets the order numbers, and then effectively we won't do any more of those. So if you're interested and you want to get in, got to get in quick. That's kind of the deal. As always, we'll be doing more of these in the future. Stick around. There's always other stuff to look at on our channel. And always like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the other stuff we say here on YouTube. And I'll catch you on the next one.